fine. So that is fine completely. So basically, after section 21, from till 20, 1 minute. Yeah, from 22 to 24, all the sections are repealed. Hello.
Yeah.
And we discussed it that we would be discussing up till section 24. But 22 to 24 are repealed. Prior to that, what now is left is preliminary, the chapter 1, that contains only of definitions and interpretations. Chapter 2 is about inventions not patentable. So section 3 and 4. Fifth is again repealed in that. Then application for patent is there, chapter 3, and chapter 4 is publication and examination of applications.
Yeah.
So we will like, how do you really wish to proceed there?
That is what I was thinking, that maybe how comfortable and how conversant we are at this stage in our preparation. And if we were very conversant, we could have by choice volunteered to maybe explain sections one by one, whatever we are comfortable in. But I don't know what is our level of knowledge today. Are we comfortable explaining, describing? I thought that could be one approach. We take one section, one person starts speaking about it, and then other.
Your voice has broken.
Maybe compliment. I don't know if there are. Okay. So I was saying that probably whoever is more conversant in a particular section can volunteer to describe or share his understanding, spend a few minutes, and then we can move to the next section, and others can maybe pitch in, clarify, give some remarks, and so on as the expert speaks. This can be one approach. Or if you have another idea, please share.
What I was thinking is, because section 2 is extremely important, and there are things which we need to take care of in section 2.
Yeah.
So what I was planning is that let's one of us start with section 2. Then section 6 again is very important. Section 3, I have marked things in section 3, but section 3 is more of understanding based. And we need to divide it. We basically, section 3 is something which we need to understand about the basics of IPR, and then we can easily memorize the section 3. Hello. So if any one of us would like to volunteer for section 2, then that person can start for section 2, and we'll continue. Or if you say, I can also start.
Section 2, and it's an important section. Yeah, I was saying, yeah, I agree that section 2 is fairly long and it's an important section. And so is section 3. We were told that section 3 also will find many exam questions. Correct?
It will find many exam questions, but what I feel is that in order to understand section 3, otherwise you need to remember that subsections that would only be memory part. But if you really need to understand what section 3 actually says, then you need to know the basics of IPR. Like if you could see that KLMN, and they are altogether the subject matter of copyright. That section 3O is the separate, altogether separate law for integrated circuits. So
what do you mean? What are you trying to say here?
I'm just trying to say that in order to understand section 3, it will take a longer time. First start with section 2, and then we'll slowly proceed to section 3 also.
Okay. Let's begin with section 2 without wasting much time. Then we've already spent 5 minutes discussing. So if you want, Karthik, you can maybe begin.
Okay. So,
I hope everybody is comfortable. Yeah.
Would anyone
I'm okay. Yeah, please, Karthik, I'm fine with it. If you can.
No, you are fine. If someone, because only we two were discussing, if any other person would like to.
Srilata ji, Aruna ji, Sarang ji, what are your views? How do we proceed?
I'm fine, Karthik.
Yeah, we are fine with it. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah,
Karthik, over to you.
So, okay. So basically, before starting with section 2, in any of the laid down legislation or law, if you could see, section 2 would particularly refer to the definitions, and that is fairly important in order to understand the other sections. Now, what happens is that generally we skip these definitions while studying the law, and the interpretation of other sections comes from specifically for the words. Like last year, I was stuck with that any person interested. It was related to a case, and we had to explain that in relation to section 64B. So that came from section 2(1)(t). So starting from the definition, from exam point of view, section 2 subclause A, appellate board actually has been repealed, but a question may creep in from appellate board. With what I feel is because a single question can creep in. So all the IPAB, intellectual property appellate board, was described from section 116. So the appellate board has been referred to there. AB is the assignee. Now what happens is that I have made an invention. I am a patentee, but I then assigns it to someone else. So the assignee can be the legal representative of a disease. So if you could see the section 2 subclause AB. सबके पास act है अपने? Hello.
Yeah, I have act.
Or should I share on the screen?
Yes. No, we have it.
We do have.
Okay.
I think sharing on the screen can also be helpful, so that if there is something that
I'll just share.
Hope that's fine with you.
Yeah, can everybody see?
Yeah.
Yes.
So section 2 subclause 1 subclause AB specifically states that assignee includes an assignee of the includes an assignee of the
चले जा रही है बीच में आपकी आवाज चले जाती है बीच में. I don't know if it is only for me.
Is this the same problem with everyone? Hello.
Between there are some words which get dropped out.
Yeah.
1 minute.
शायद आपका फेस माइक से हट जाता होगा कार्तिक, ये पॉसिबल है क्या?
No, actually I am using earphone. 1 minute.
जैसे अभी फिर से हुआ.
1 minute. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, I can explain assignee as someone whom I have assigned the patent or assigned the right of the patent. And assignee is not related to just only patents, it's related to other intellectual properties also. Like in trademarks also, we assign when we transfer the patent or transfers the intellectual property to someone else, then that person becomes an assignee. Then Budapest Treaty is related to microorganisms. So there was a treaty in which the patents for the it was a depository for the microorganisms. So anything which if we are dealing with microorganisms, it has to be deposited with the international depository, and that comes under the Budapest Treaty. Then this one is very important, section 21 AC, capable of industrial application. It is one of the requirement for the patent to be granted. So capable of industrial application means that the invention can be reproduced any number of time and it has some utility in the industry. For example, it should not be like by accident an invention has been made, but it has to have some utility and it can be made any number of times. Then controller means the Controller General of Patents.
I'm just curious, why these AB, ABA, and AC clubbed under A? Do they have some relevance to appellate board?
No, actually, they don't have some relevance to the appellate board, but subsequently, if you have that Universal Act, there are comments regarding this also. They have been subsequently added with the amendments. Now, it was not possible to add after that. So they have just made that AB, ABA, AC.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a very logical explanation. Thank you.
Yeah. So like this one, your AB, it was added in with the amendment in 2003. So, and
Okay.
ABA was inserted after the amendment of 2005.
Okay.
So, this then convention application. There are certain countries where they have a reciprocating agreement with India. So they are termed as convention countries. They have certain exemptions for the Indian applicants, Indian patents, and similarly, we provide the same reciprocating effect to their citizens. So those countries are known as convention countries. So any application made in those countries are known as convention applications. So and that is defined in section 135. Then convention country is again defined in section D, subclause D. So then district court, we all know that they all come under Code of Civil Procedure.
I think convention here they're referring to Geneva Convention, right?
No, it's not Geneva Convention, but there are certain countries which have a reciprocating agreements with India.
This is either Paris Convention or Geneva Convention, if I'm not wrong. So
No,
I think
no.
this entitles, okay, maybe not, but probably this entitles you to file within 12 months of filing in one of the convention countries, right? It's about the same, right?
In any way, you have to file it within 12 months. So basically, convention country, if you can go to section 133. 1 minute, I'll just add one more screen and uh, 133 convention countries. So any country which is a signatory or part of a group of countries, union of countries, or intergovernment organization which are signatory or party to an international, regional, or bilateral treaty, convention, or arrangement into which India is also signatory or party, and which affords to the applicant for patents in India or to citizens of India similar privileges as are granted to their own citizens or citizens to the member countries. So there are certain reciprocating agreements. So the countries which are part of those agreements are known as convention countries. Now in Geneva Convention and this Paris Convention and all, they they don't have. I don't think that they have that reciprocating agreement for every country.
I think Paris Convention does have. Paris Convention allows you to, if you're signatory of the Paris Convention, then as per this act, only those countries which are signatories, only those countries are allowed to file within 12 months in the other countries.
I'll have to look into it. To be frank,
I
I'm
just
also,
thought it would be
I'm
shared.
also, I am
I
also
think for
learning.
the PCT, I think for the PCT, for the Paris Convention, there is a group of countries who are part of the convention. If not, there will be an assembly which allows other countries which are not member of PCT, something like that. So
PCT is
if
something
that-
else, ma'am. PCT has nothing to do with this. This convention here, I think if we read 135 also, probably it will allow you to file within 12 months in another country.
PCT, yes.
Yeah.
Whereas PCT will allow you 31 months, if I am right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Now coming to the exclusive license, then I have noted down that, and we'll just confirm it with a senior or someone else, and I'll inform you. Now coming to this exclusive license. So exclusive license means a license from a patentee, like we have exclusive right. Now there has been a case law in which the term exclusive license has been elaborated in more detail, in which the court termed that exclusive license doesn't mean that like if A is a patent holder and he has given exclusive license to B, then A can even give the exclusive license for the same patent to C also, but the terms of the license are different. So exclusive license doesn't mean that A is bound with B for the license, but the terms on which the B has been given that license has to be different from that to the C. Now the G part is omitted.
The terms have to be different, or they don't have to be? They have to be different, right?
Terms have to be different. Hello. Yeah. Terms have to be different than what were given to B, but the same patent can be granted to multiple licensees.
Okay, that's interesting.
So
because as per this clause, it's not allowed, right?
There's nothing written that it has been allowed or not. It's just that exclusive license means a license from a patentee which confers on the licensee or on the licensee and the person authorized by him to the exclusion of all other persons, including the patentee, any right in respect of the patented invention, and exclusive licensee shall be construed accordingly. Now the thing is that they are not talking about any of the like terms and conditions. So the court elaborated on that thing that there can be multiple licensee, but their terms should be different for each one.
Okay.
So now the government undertaking means any industrial undertaking carried on by the Department of Government or by the Act or by something which has been instituted by the government. These government undertakings and all, I don't think that they are much important. High Court is also in relation to state or union territory with something, a court which has been established by the state or union government. So that is the High Court. International applications, those applications in accordance with PCT and convention applications are also treated as international applications. Then invention means this one. J is very important. Invention means a new product or process because it contains all the three requirements for a patent. a new product or process involving an inventive step and capable of industrial application. So capable of industrial application, we have already discussed in AC. Now the inventive step has to be there, and it should involve a new product or process. New product or basically new invention has been defined. A novelty is there. So new invention has been, novelty in itself has not been defined in the act, but new invention is defined in clause L, which means any invention or technology which has not been anticipated by publication in any document or used in the country or elsewhere in the world before the date of filing of patent application with the complete specification. So it has not been anticipated. There has to be no research paper or something. Basically, it should not come under the chapter 6 of the anticipation. So this is the legal representative, means a person who in law represents the state of a deceased person. Normally, legal representative can be someone who I have given my power of attorney or something, but the act specifically says that in patents it means that a person who in law represents the state of a deceased person. Opposition board, for opposition board, it's section 25. We have to look into that, but opposition, whenever a opposition to the patent is there, the controller institutes a board to look into that opposition, to study that opposition and to give the decisions. So that board which has been constituted is the opposition board, and it has been defined under section 25. Now, patent means the act for which it has been there. So the patent means a patent for any invention granted under this act. So in other terms, that patent is actually a privilege given to the inventor for a fixed term for disclosing his invention to the public. Now, patent agent means a person for the time being registered under this act as a patent agent, something for which we are studying. Then patented a patented article or patented process means respectively an article or process in which in respect of which a patent is in force, or the patented article or process can be understood for something protection has been granted. Now, a patent cooperation treaty, it was done in Washington on 19 June of 1970, as amended and modified from time to time. We all know that PCT is there for filing application in multiple jurisdiction at once. Then patentee means a person for the time being entered on the register as the grantee or proprietor of the patent. So a patentee can change from time to time. We know that when we read section 20, the applicants or the patent holder can be substituted from time to time by the controller by giving the application. So anyone whose name has been there on the register of the patents, then he or she is the patentee. Then patent of addition, it's one of the type of patent application which we file. It's in section 54, and patent of addition is filed when there's subsequent improvement in the already filed application. It has to be filed after the filing of the main application, and it can be filed within any time before the expiry of that main application. Now, there can be questions that why do we need to file patent of addition? Why can't we file the main file altogether a new application? Then the answer is that when we file this altogether new application and there is not sufficient advancement than the earlier application or the earlier patent, then there are high chances that a patent can be rejected. So in order to protect that minute changes or a slight advancement, we can file the patent of addition. That's on the discretion of the applicant and that is there. Now, a patent office is
Complement
the
what
pa-
you mentioned, Karthik.
Hmm.
And another advantage of patent of addition can be that if you compare it with a new patent application, you will have protected the priority of the patent in case of a patent of addition. In a new patent application, the priority will begin from the date when you file the new application. But in case of patent of addition, probably as the patent to which you are doing the addition, right?
Yeah, in patent of addition, actually the priority starts from the priority of the base application,
Original
parent
base
application.
correct. And
And
another,
now what happens is that in most of the cases, like I also filed one patent of addition. So what happened was that already 2 years were elapsed. Now the patent of addition only had the life of 18 years.
that's correct. Yeah, that is the downside of it, because it could be many more number of years than 2 years. I think another point which I remember I had read is that a patent of addition can only be probably applied after the grant. If we can
No.
quickly clarify this in
No,
section 54.
because when we applied for the patent of addition, it was after the publication we filed that patent of addition. It was not before after the grant. So patent of addition can be filed any time after the patent the parent application has been made.
Okay.
The one point is the patent of addition will not be granted till the main application has been granted. So that's the thing that we will, both the applications will be either granted simultaneously, or the patent of addition at the most will be granted after the main application has been granted with the patent. Is that
The patent that's a risk with the application.
Yeah, correct. But that understanding is right? So,
yeah, so that's the risk with the application. Now there are chances that because I may be wrong at that point, but I read it somewhere that if we make a altogether new application, then controller can make it a patent of addition also. Or we with the application to the controller, we can ask that new application to be treated as a patent of addition, or vice versa. I may be wrong in that. If any one of you could clarify. Hello.
Yeah, it's okay, Karthik.
Yeah. Am I correct or not? I just wanted to ask.
No, I am not in a position to comment.
Okay. I'll again clarify that. Okay. So where we were on patent of addition. One more thing. This meeting was actually the Zoom one, so it was only for 40 minutes. So we need to reconnect with the same link, I think.
Okay.
After 8 minutes, I'll inform you, but it's like after 8 minutes, it's showing the.
Okay.
So we were on patent of addition. Then patent office is referred to in section 74. The office where the controller sits, basically. Then the person includes the government. There's a concept called corporate soul, corporate personality. So all the government companies, they all are treated as a person. Person interested, this T is 21T. Person interested includes a person engaged in or in promoting research in the same field as that to which the invention relates. So our act is very specific onto this, that cannot be like any random person comes up and says that I'm an interested person, but he should be engaged in that same field or promotion or research in the same field to which the invention is related. Then pharmaceutical substance means any new entity involving one or more inventive step. Now, specifically pharmaceutical is not been defined, so it would carry the dictionary meaning. Anything which has not been defined in section 2 will carry the dictionary meaning. So that's the laid down law which our Indian courts follow. Now, prescribed means in relation to proceedings before High Court, prescribed by rules made by the High Court, in relation to proceedings before appellate board, or appellate board is now over, so and in other cases prescribed by rules and made under this act. Prescribed manner includes the payment of prescribed fees. So all these fee structures, the rules, they can be changed from time to time by the recommendation of the central government or the union government, you say. They all can change from time to time, but the act would remain the same. Act could only be changed by the legislation, by the parliament. So that's why anywhere where it is written in the act that as prescribed, so it would then refer to the rules, the patent rules. Now the priority date. Priority date has been explained in detail in section 11. But priority date is the first instance the patent or the invention has been disclosed to the public. So disclosed to the public, not only to the public, but disclosed to the patent office. It would be disclosed to the public only at the time of publication, but the priority date is the first instance the patent has been disclosed to the patent office, or the first filing date of the application. That's why if we file the provisional specification also, then the priority date of the application would be the date of filing of the provisional specification, not the complete specification. And each claim that we'll study in section 11, but each claim would contain their own priority dates. So that's all contained in section 11. Now the register means the register of patents referred to in section 67. So all the patents which have been granted with the title and all, they are maintained in a register. So that register is the register of patents. And true and first inventor does not include either the first importer of an invention into India or person to whom an invention is first communicated from outside India. True and first inventor means the person who has first made that invention, or who has researched over that invention. So this was section 2 subclause 1. Section 2 subclause 2, in this act, unless and otherwise, unless the context otherwise requires, any reference to the controller shall be construed as including a reference to any officer discharging the function of controller in persons. Section 73, to the patent office shall be construed as including a reference to any branch office of the patent. So these are in section 2. What I marked while I was studying was that some of the most important terms were 2 subclause AB, 2(1)AB, assignee is the important one. AC is the important one. You can read about A also, because that has been although repealed, but a question may creep in either in Viva, if not in paper 1 and 2, it can creep in Viva.
Which one you said, man? No, sorry. After AC, which one did you say?
A, appellate board.
Okay.
Then,
then
D is very
AC?
important. AC is very important. AC is the capable of industrial application. It is important because it is one of the requirement of the patent. Then D is very important, convention country. Then IA, international application, is important. J, invention, is important because it again gives all the 3 requirements of an invention to be patentable. Now JA is also important. Inventive step is important. Legal representative K is very important. New invention L is very important. Then LA is important. M is important. Then N, there might be questions creeping in from the term patent agent also. So N is very also important. Not very important, but it is important. Then OA is important, Patent Cooperation Treaty. PCT and then T is important, person interested. And then this priority dates. W is also important. So this was all section 2. If we need to reconnect also for the meeting, because it's all only 1 minute is left. Hello.
Yeah, we'll be using the same link, right, Karthik?
Yeah, I think the same link would suffice.